Tonya Reiman. Tonya, this is fascinating stuff. Obviously, all eyes were glued to TV sets yesterday for that handshake. What did we see?
Well, when we watched the handshake, okay, here we go. So you see, automatically, Trump normally pulls people into him. In this situation, he did not pull anyone into him. Instead, he gave Putin space, and Putin appreciated that because of the height difference. So height equals superiority. So as they shake, he doesn't pull him in, but he does tap him underneath the arm. And that tap is to say, hey, listen, I'm the authority figure here. I tap you, and then that shows that I'm the dominant individual. Putin, on the other hand, what does he do? He has to play something back, so he points. Pointing is similar, it's a symbol of aggression. So when he does that, it's trying to neutralize the fact that he just got patted on the arm.
So this was the first meeting. Now let's go to the second meeting,
right.
The sit-down meeting. What do you see different here?
When they're sitting down, when you look at Donald Trump, he's always sitting in that same position. See how he is? He's leaned forward. His fingers are in a staple position. And what that means is he's feeling confident. But if he were feeling very confident, the steeple would be higher. However, this is a baseline move for him, so it doesn't take away from anything he's doing here. When we look at Putin, Putin looks a little bit more relaxed because he does not give off emotions. But if you look at, see his arms? See how they're in this widened position? That's also to compensate for the fact that he's not as tall. So both men are splaying their legs open. This indicates that they both feel strong and assertive. Putin just doesn't give away anything. He has a poker face, whereas Donald Trump is trying here a little bit more to be friendly.
Decades of KGB training right there in that poker face.
He really does not give out information.
This was obviously the Putin-Trump meeting was the main one everybody was focused on, but there was also President Trump and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Frostiness, obviously, between the two. There was no handshake the first time that they met. What do we see in the first handshake that we saw yesterday from these two?
In the very first one?
The very first one.
When we look at the handshake initially, they're not really looking at each other, so they don't know what to do with their hands. It's supposed to be meet, handshake, walk away.
Who
but
goes
here,
first?
They're looking to say the hand movements keep moving. These are called intention cues, so neither one really knows what to do. She winds up shaking hands first. Now, that is also a dominating force because he who shakes first is seen as the more powerful of the two. And the second one, he goes, let me take that back. And now he initiates the handshake.
Let's get to that second one now. Here's the second one on your screen. Slow walk up to the screen.
Professional, okay, he extends, and now to make sure he becomes even more powerful and more dominant, he also taps her hand. He also has the upper hand because you can see the back of his hand as opposed to him, you seeing the upper palm, okay? So when you do something like that, it becomes just unconsciously to those who are watching, it becomes more powerful.
In the time we have remaining, I'm sure there's somebody sitting at home watching this saying, who cares about the handshake? What does this mean? What does this body language mean? Break down why this is so important and what it shows about our leaders.
It's simplistic. Words convey information, nonverbals convey emotion. So what happens is we feel something. Our limbic system goes into action, right? We feel some kind of emotion, and then because our neocortex is so used to lying, when we feel it, we show it, and then the neocortex lies. So there's this incongruity, this disconnect. So if I go like this, hey, your hair looks great, automatically there's an incongruity because my shoulders went up, which we know is a signal of uncertainty, as I told you something positive. If I said, yeah, I'm not really sure what time I'm going home, then there's congruency, and that's really the difference.
I'll ask you about my sitting in a moment when we go to Abby. Abby, who's perfect in every single way.